Hello and welcome to the final episode of Meet the Team. Throughout this series, we've wanted to give you a better look into the amazing people that we have here at Datamango and really where our focus is as a company and what's important to us. Today, to conclude this series of Meet the Team, I had the pleasure of having a conversation with our managing director, Sawell, to discuss what was important for him in building this business, how it started, and really just an insight into his journey and what he's learned along the way. It is slightly longer in length, but that is because there was nearly 2 hours of recording in this conversation I had with Graham. Thank you for watching and enjoy.
I am the managing director of Datamango. At the start of the company, I was very, very responsible for delivery. So I was involved a lot in the entire end-to-end of a project. That would be everything from selling to requirements gathering through to delivery of it. Where I'm at now is supporting others in their ambitions, in their roles in the company. But in saying that, I am a developer as well. So I do get involved in normally more of the like MVP type stuff, so minimal viable product prototyping. So I tend to be very good at the start and the inception, building out an idea.
Let's go back before Datamango to understand your career a little bit better and the career journey that you've been through, because you've done quite a lot of interesting things in different industries. So it'd be cool to talk about that.
I remember my dad said to me, "Do you want to go to college?" And I almost felt insulting for me to go to college because I got such bad GCSEs. So I got, I think, my highest grade in GCSE, and when I was 15 was maybe a D. I later found out in life that was due to ADHD, that I couldn't focus in school and I just didn't get on with it. So what I did is I went into a modern apprenticeship. So I did an MVQ level 2 in business administration and went to work for the local council. My days mainly consisted of photocopying and photocopying and photocopying and photocopying. It was not until I think I was 2-3 months into the role and I was working in HR, and one of the ladies in the office had a problem with her computer. And it was suddenly this light bulb moment for me where I realized that like everybody else in the world doesn't know how to use computers. Using them since I was like, I don't know, 8 years old, mainly to play video games. Never ever in my life thought that would amount to me having more knowledge than anybody else. Then focused into a HR systems role because they kind of saw, oh, this guy can use computers, let's get him into that. And from there, it just kind of skyrocketed from going into systems and then becoming more of a business intelligence type role. So a lot of things around analysis and data. I worked for the council, and that got privatized to Capita, then went to work for Capita, then went to work for that kind of outsourcing 2P type company. Worked at Serco. I was doing consultancy in business intelligence and in HR, and then I kind of pivoted and moved into field service management. And I ran a consultancy practice at a company delivering field service management solutions. And I worked at a few other places as well. And then I went into contracting. And that was really the point at which I learned to do development. And I thought, these systems I've been looking after over all these years and all the data that I've been integrating between these systems, I think I could do this. I think I could make something. And so that kind of led into building what was Fred Sawell Applications, which is now Datamango, and Field Fusion, which is a product off the back of that. So it's been a very varied journey, and alongside doing all of those roles, I could never stand still in my own life. So I was always trying to, when I was younger, it was always like, I need to get rich. You kind of grow up a bit and realize that like, actually, that's not what it's all about. You don't need to do that. Tried loads of different things, very, very entrepreneurial, and would start businesses and stop them, try things out. And one of the things that I was quite proud of was myself and Lewis created a photography and filmmaking business Actually, I say that when we first started, it was photography, filmmaking, and DJing. There's nothing that will give you a very fast lesson in life than undercharging and undervaluing yourself, because you immediately realise that I'm worth more than that.
You talked about getting into development, so and that being a really core driver for you. What is it about development that you find interesting, and what do you think are the capabilities in this modern landscape when it comes to development?
For me, the pull into development, I think, came from doing way more work trying to get around the fact that I couldn't code. And it wasn't until I was about 26 that I actually learned how to do it. And I'd convinced myself up until that point that I couldn't do it. I just wasn't of that mindset. I wouldn't be able to do it. I wasn't intelligent enough. I wasn't mathematical enough. All the excuses you can kind of come up with. And what I did is I dedicated a night to learning how to do. I looked up all the languages, and I thought JavaScript seems the most sensible, and I went on Codecademy and did one of their interactive courses on it. I think it was on React, so I started on React. I learned the fundamentals of coding just by really hammering it and just telling myself that I won't stop until I get to the end of the course, even if I don't feel like I fully understand it. I'm going to go to the end of it, and then at the end I can decide if I want to do it again.
What is it that you really set out to do with this company in terms of in helping our clients?
I had to make a choice, and the choice was that we could either go all in on having a product and kind of the uncertainty that had, or we could actually say, look at what we're really good at. We're really good at building, solutioning, and making minimal viable products you could take to market. So what that meant for us was that we could talk about the strengths that we've got and show the products that we build and keep on building them for other people. And that's really the journey that we went on. In business, the best thing you can do is to lean into your strengths. So what we did is it took that and thought, well, we've got a team of people who are architects, who are builders, who like to dream up ideas and help people execute on their ideas. Because I'd worked with so many big consulting firms and big corporate organizations, I know that there's this real sense of frustration in the market with what they call land and expand developers, people that will come in and develop and kind of attach themselves onto the business and say, you need us now. Wouldn't it be an interesting proposition to kind of flip that on its head and say, we don't want you to keep us here. We don't want to stay here. What we want to do is we want to help you execute a vision, and then we want to go. And that tends to hit really well with clients. But the other question that they've then got is how do we then support it? As in, how do they support things? And to that, I say that we will help you to figure out how you maintain it, and whether that's that you bring people in house or you offshore it or you outsource it. We'll help you to do that.
With this in mind, what do you think makes a really good MVP in your eyes?
The thing around development and user experience and user interfaces and everything you see in the front is that if you can get investment for the concept of it, and if you can get buy-in from customers, clients, internal staff, external investors, banks, whoever it is, number one thing that they're going to be attracted to is the way that you present it. And I think it was Einstein that really nailed this with a quote that he said that if you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, then you don't understand it. And that's true with development as well. Open source movement is a really good example of this, where you've got people who are tirelessly working their asses off to build software for free with no recognition for it. And it's all because of communication, and it's all because of the way that they present what they're doing. You need to know your target audience for what it is that you're developing, and you need to know the best way to communicate to them. The thing that we always get from people is this looks amazing. I understand what it is your product does. Where can I learn more? From our perspective, it's I want to build more, and from their perspective, it's customers want to buy more. The people in our team matter the most to me and their development matters the most to me, what we tend to do is we tend to get people that are unrecognized, tend to get the quietest voices in the room and kind of elevate them to be their own voices. What that does for us as a business is it means that we can have great discussions around what we're building and what we're doing for our clients with complete open and honest and transparent means. Discussions where we challenge each other, where we're never standing still. We're always looking to innovate. For anyone watching this that's starting a business or starting an idea, and pros and cons of like having a development team in-house or outsourcing a development team, one of the really strong points of a company like us builds is we build capability that's very varied and diverse. We're not stuck with any one language. We're not stuck with any one approach. We have a growth mindset here that means that anybody can try anything that they want. They can learn anything they want. And we benefit you get over that, over hiring somebody and kind of using that as your development team to start from, is that tends to be very fixed. So our clients can come back to us and ask us about any problem, whether it's in data, AI, development, back end, front end, doesn't really matter. They can come to us and they can talk about it, and we can figure out amongst people in our team and amongst the skill sets that we've got, how to get from A to B. What I tend to see in people is a spark, a conversation that you have with somebody and you realize that they've actually got a deep passion or a deep eagerness to learn, and that it's not being facilitated